What's up guys? Today we're gonna talk about what you can learn from playing Skyrim. So have you ever noticed how playing Skyrim, everything inside the game is fun? Basically just playing the game is fun. But then when you return to the real world, everything sucks. Going to school, doing your job, or just going to the gym. For some reason everything sucks and isn't really fun. So if your life sucks, like the video right now. And if your life doesn't suck, then also like the video. But actually, how come that inside Skyrim everything is fun, but in the real world it's not fun? So that's what we're gonna talk about in this video, and I'm gonna explain what we can actually learn from Skyrim, so our real world, our real life also becomes fun. So first of all, I'm gonna talk about how Skyrim works. So there's 3 steps, and the first step is you make a character, right? You build a base, you build an identity. And this identity doesn't really change throughout the playthrough, it usually stays the same. And this is very important inside the game. And it's important, why? Because of the second step, growth. So what you do throughout the whole playthrough of Skyrim, you basically just build this base. You build your identity. You make it stronger. You level up, you get more like gold, you get more septims, you basically get more spells, more clothing, more armor, whatever. All you do inside the game is you basically have this base and you make it stronger and better. And then the third thing is cheating, because basically the tool how you grow is by cheating. And every Skyrim player is a cheater here, so just being the Dragonborn itself is already the biggest cheat ever, because you just playing the game, the whole world is set up in your favor. Everything is basically set up for you, and you grow faster and you level up faster and you learn shouts faster than anybody else. So everything is heavily in your favor and you're the biggest cheater in the world. So that's basically how Skyrim works. You make a character, and then you grow this character, and the world is easy because you heavily cheat. So let me actually explain these 3 things in detail. So let's start with character creation. So growth needs a base. Basically, the second part of how Skyrim works is growth, right? It's like growing your character, but you cannot grow nothing. So growth needs a base. It basically means like, what do you grow? And here, like how you define this growth is defined by your character. So if you don't have a character, you have nothing to grow. Like imagine playing Skyrim and you don't have a character, you're just a ghost or something. It doesn't work. You cannot like level up a ghost. You cannot like put armors on a ghost. Like it does not matter. It does not work, right? So the second thing is like character both limits and defines growth. So every game has rules, right? And in Skyrim, the rules actually come from your character itself. So this character both limits and defines your growth. How does it limit my growth? Well, basically like if you define yourself as, I don't know, a magician or something, then you can only like grow magic, right? And it also limits growth by, for example, your body. Like in Skyrim, you decide for one body, and that body does not really change. Like even if you like become stronger, your character does not really become more muscular, right? So in the real world, if you like train hard, your body grows more muscular. That does not happen inside Skyrim. So your body does not really change. So growth does not really mean like growth in like muscles or like in height. It more like means growth in strength. It more like means growth in skill. So you can see how your character, your body, basically limits and defines what this growth is. What if you have no character? So if you have no character, like let's say in real life, you have no character, so you cannot really define growth, and then growth can become anything. Like, for example, let's just say, I don't know, you're a magician, you define yourself as a magician or whatever. Well, let's just say you don't have any definition at all and you just try to grow without having any definition at all. So what happens is like, what do you grow? Do you just collect magic stuffs? Do you just collect books? Is that even fun? I wouldn't say it's fun. So what I would say is fun actually inside the game would be something like, I define myself as a magician, so I try to collect every spell inside the game. Or I define myself as a warrior, so I try to collect all the Daedric artifacts because they make me stronger. So this is like a cool definition, and then this definition defines your growth. So how do I grow my character? Oh, my character is a warrior, so I want Daedric artifacts. Oh, my character is a magician, so I want more magic spells. I think you can see the point that I'm trying to make. Without a defined character, the world is not really fun, and you cannot really grow your character. Then the next thing we're gonna talk about is growth. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the difference between fun versus growth. So maybe you say to yourself, hey, the whole world, the whole game is just for fun, right? The reason why I'm playing the game is fun. So the goal cannot really be growth, right? How can it be growth? I'm just playing this game for fun. And it's not just all about growth, right? So I'm looking also at the sunset, for example, and I'm liking the sunset, and clearly looking at the sunset is not growth. I disagree here, and I think the whole game is just about growth. Like the whole main component of what makes the game fun is just about growth. So what is the main difference between fun and versus growth? So fun is very short term. It's basically just like pleasure, looking at a sunset, or like, you know, like some form of enjoyment that's very short term, like looking at TikTok, for example. Growth, on the other hand, is basically building something, and this is happiness that is more reliable and long term. So let's actually talk about how Skyrim is all about growth. So what do you do in Skyrim primarily is like, you don't go out into the world and just look at sunsets, right? So the main reason why you do quests is because you want to grow your character, right? You want a new spell, you want like more gold, or you want a new armor or something. That's why you do the quest, because you do the quest to get these things, right? And along the way, you look at the basically beautiful sunset, right? So the sunset is only like a byproduct. It's only something that you do, that you enjoy while going after the growth. But the growth is the main goal inside Skyrim. It's the main reason why you do anything inside Skyrim. So next we're gonna talk about how growth supports itself. So next, let's talk about how growth supports itself. So getting there is more fun than the thing itself. So let me explain kind of like how the Skyrim mindset works. It's like, let's say you want a sports car, and in real life, how people usually see it is like, the way to get there, like the work is very unfun, and then finally having the sports car is fun. But this is completely opposite in Skyrim. Skyrim actually like, the way to get the car is fun, like the growth is fun, and then actually getting the thing is not fun. Like for example, let's say you want an ebony armor, which is one of the best armors inside the game. So the way to get the ebony armor, like collecting all the ebony and leveling up your smithing, is quite fun actually. Like people enjoy doing it, but then when you finally have that ebony armor, you look at it once and then usually never again, right? So you can see that what is fun is getting the thing and not the thing itself. And once you got this ebony armor, usually like the fun dies and you move over to the next thing. Now you want, I don't know, like a Daedric armor, or I don't know, Nordic armor, or whatever. It does not matter. But you see my point, right? So what is fun inside Skyrim is not the thing itself, but getting there. And growth itself is fun inside Skyrim. It's not the thing itself, it's not the sports car, it's like getting toward the sports car. So the way is the goal inside Skyrim. Growth supports itself by actually like how you get there is fun itself, and it supports itself because what you have to do, what makes you disciplined, makes you actually do the things, become the things that are fun. And that's why inside games like RPGs, like the players are so disciplined, because actually grinding is fun. And in the real world it's opposite, grinding is hard, and then having the thing itself is fun. So you can see in Skyrim it's like kind of opposite. So next, let's talk about cheating. So I don't mean relationship cheating. Like relationship cheating is something completely different in my opinion. It has nothing to do with Skyrim cheating. So relationship cheating in my opinion happens because someone has double goals. They have two different type of goals that basically conflict with each other. So if you do relationship cheating, what you basically do is like you want a stable relationship, a stable girlfriend, for example, and at the same time you also want basically side bitches, right? You want like a couple girls you can sleep with, and these are different goals because you want a stable relationship, but you also want to sleep around, and these two goals conflict with each other, and that's how basically the conflict happens. So this is not really Skyrim cheating at all. So let me actually explain what Skyrim cheating is. So Skyrim cheating is basically exploitation. So you make use of the world itself. So I would say that every Skyrim player is a cheater, even those who don't use mods. So like I said before, just basically being the Dragonborn is already the biggest cheat, because you can basically learn shouts in just seconds. You just have to see the word and you learn it. While the Greybeards, they need like 60 years to learn a shout or something. You level up faster than everybody. You basically are immortal. You're a time god. You can just go back in time when you died or you didn't like a decision you made. And basically like you're always the center of attention. And then on top of that, people use console commands, they use mods, and they also heavily use exploits. So one way what people do, if they, for example, want to do something like level up their smithing, they basically go online and look up how to level up smithing fast, and then find something like make iron daggers and make only the iron daggers, and then you level up your smithing fast. And even on top of all the exploitation that already happens inside the game, that is already set up inside the game, the players use even more exploitation by, for example, using hacks, actually looking up online how to use hacks. So here I would say that exploitation actually means success, because if you would level up smithing how it's intended by just making the items you need, you probably would never level up your smithing all the way to 100. You probably would never make Daedric items or something like that, because it's almost impossible to go to smithing 100 with just making the items that you need. So you actually have to use exploitation. You actually have to make these iron daggers. You have no other choice, because iron daggers need basically the least amount of materials but bring the most XP. So you have no choice other to use that exploit to actually get to level 100. Or you use mods, or you kind of like hack your game. So the only way how you can actually like go to level 100 without like spending hundreds of hours and basically the game no longer becoming fun is by using exploitation. So exploitation here is success, exploitation here is fun. So let's talk next about how can this help you in real life. So with character creation, basically build your own character, build your own base. Like we talked about before, you cannot grow a character without having a character in the first place. So define yourself, define who you want to be, how you want to look. That's very important, and that's also the first thing that most Skyrim players do. So next, let's talk about growth. So here I recommend build rather than waste. So I think most people don't really have a defined goal in life, and either the goal is like too defined, like I want a sports car, or it's like not really like too defined, so they only go after short-term happiness like watching TikTok all day. So here I recommend go after growth. Make it so that basically rather than the thing, getting there is fun to you. So you have a goal that supports itself. So basically grinding and being disciplined is fun for you rather than like the thing itself. You know, like making money and I don't know, for example, doing YouTube to get money is fun rather than, I don't know, the money that you get and the things you buy with the money later. Working hard is fun rather than the sports car you can buy with it later. I think that's a good goal to have, and that's exactly the goal that most Skyrim players have inside the game. And that's also why the game is so fun, because the grind itself is fun. Next, let's talk about cheating. So here I would recommend to exploit the world. I don't recommend like cheating inside a relationship that has nothing to do with Skyrim, but rather I would say use exploits heavily, just like you use exploits heavily inside the game. So the whole game is already a one big exploit because it's set up for you to have fun. So you can use the same type of exploits in the real world. If you don't know how, just look it up. There's so many like guides online, just like there are guides for Skyrim. If you want to make money or you want to like get muscles or whatever, there's so much like hacks online. You can just look them up, and just like in the game, just cheat, not by using the console or something like that, but by using these exploits, by using these hacks. So that was basically the video. Like I said before, like the video, subscribe, join my Patreon, play my games in the description because I also make games myself, and post a comment about your favorite Skyrim armor. So that was the video, and see you in the next video. Bye.